p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, September 11th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So an impromptu live here as the total crypto market cap falls below 1 trillion. But first, I've been getting a lot of backlash for whatever reason because I like to talk about faith, or at times I speak of spirituality. And I've been taking a lot of grief about it, which to me doesn't seem appropriate. So while I'm getting everything set up today, I'd like a little of you to dig a little deeper. And if you have a problem with this, maybe it'll push the bad mojo out before it starts, and we'll get more of a positive spin on things. So you're going to all endure this, because it doesn't really matter to me what anybody says about my religion. I'm still going to talk the way I do. I talk very little about it. So we're going to listen to this. So, you know, why get mad? Be happy. Feel the love. So while I'm setting everything up, anybody who's spiritual will know this.
Is more aware of him tonight as we sing to him. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Maybe feel.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
And if somebody really has a problem, they will leave during this. You see how we fight fire with fire? Amen.
Of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart.
Thank you, Sean.
I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Amen, MC Prosperity.
My heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
You're our focus. That's why we're staying focused. XRP and our faith. Crypto, nothing else. I canceled the rest.
Our prayer, God. I want to see. Open my eyes, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see.
We'll get into the charts in a minute. This is how I fight fire with fire now.
I want to see you. I want to see you. Open our eyes, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open my eyes of my heart. I want to see you. Lord, I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up.
wanted to hear that last part. Sorry about that. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. So, the reason I started out like that, if you're just tuning in, is I'd received a lot of backlash for whatever reason. Well, I can see the reason why. Because I speak sometimes about going to church on Sundays, or I speak religiously a little bit here and there. And people say, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. So instead of fighting the negativity with maybe some weird response or whatever, I'm not pushing religion, so I'll simply listen to some uplifting stuff. So that's the way I'm going to approach it from now on. So good afternoon, everybody, or good early afternoon. I appreciate everybody tuning in as we have 45 people in here, 33 likes. Make sure to hit that like button as it will allow for more of us to become interconnected. I see a lot of beautiful comments in here as well, but the positivity, see how we can eliminate the negativity sometimes before it even enters. And it's simple a lot of times. So, in this way we can stay positive in here, and we can pass the message of not just, I don't push religion at all. I speak of it at times of what I'm personally doing, but I have spoken many times, whatever you're doing personally, that's perfectly fine by me. But don't cast a stone if you don't want to be, you know, you're not supposed to cast the first stone, because that opens the door for, as they say, a never-ending domino effect. John Hall, welcome in. Jorge Chant, Zenda, welcome in. Good morning, Devin. Trading with J-Ride. Nunya, John Repair Services. Let's see. And I'm going to say hi to everybody because I like to say hi to everybody. That's just what I do. MC Prosperity, and I have something else for you, MC Prosperity, that you will probably like. It's something that I took a picture of yesterday. Sean, it's actually a scripture. Sean Phillips, the enemy hates you talking about Jesus, brother. They sure do. Raymond, welcome in. XRP going down, yes. We've talked about this for a while. Appreciate you too, John. Thank you, Zenda. Sean Phillips, hi, you just played a beautiful worship song. What a man, hi. Love you, Tom. God is king. Thank you, Sean. Indeed. Staying informed, XRP Broska. We always are. MC Prosperity, Jesus is the light and the way, indeed. The focus, yes, I have been always very aware of people getting canceled on YouTube. That's why I stay very narrow on the topics, and I don't like to talk about anything outside of it. That's why I've also cut myself off. I'm even leaning towards that way a little bit. So, which is why a video I put out before I had to delete, because you don't want that getting out there, and then, you know. So anyhow. Message received. Elsie, good afternoon. I appreciate you tuning in. Sir Love, indeed. Nothing to fear here. No, there isn't, Eric. No, there isn't. Jorge, I'm glad you found it positive at work, that it was positive. Adrian, amazing. My respects to you, brother. God bless you and your family time. Right back at you, Adrian. Thank you. The kingdom of heaven will be nothing like you can imagine. No, it will not, MC Prosperity. That's what can fill you up with that. See, that's something that most people, when we fear what happens when we leave this world, you don't have to fear that. You really don't. And just by our world events happening right now, if you understand the scripture, you know, and I'm not going to tell you which version to read. You know, I know a lot of people read the King James Version, and a lot of people, as long as you're reading if you're understanding the message is the point. John, Philippines 4:13. Thank you, Sean. Or John said Philippines 4:13. And we have already run, Eric. You are absolutely correct. Michael Edwards, welcome in. Eric Lovewell, you welcome in. Just be you, Tom. That's all I can be. And you know what? My authentic self is better than anything most people could even offer. God will reward you. All those who have no light in them will leave, and all those not here of the light will be attracted here. And it's funny you say the light, because I always say we are the light surrounded in a world filled with darkness. And it just so happened yesterday, and then we got to get into this, we really do, but it just so happened yesterday that I was at church, and look at this right here, in 8:12, I am the light of the world, says the Lord. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And what do we always say at the end now? We are the light surrounded by a world full of darkness. And it was so, and that was not part of the passage when I was at church yesterday. I was just scrolling through, and it happened to stop on that exact, I just happened to read that exact verse. So, you know, when you're looking for a message, sometimes it hits you in a weird way. True, good afternoon. Thank you, Paul, I appreciate that. XLM is holding better, but there is some news. Thank you very much. There is some news with XLM coming in for tomorrow. Tanya, I don't know if she's in here, but she actually shared this as well. There could be some news here coming in with Elon Musk with XLM, so we'll talk about that as well today. But I don't know if I'm going to do it in this live, but there is news about XLM. If Elon Musk does the speculation, holy schmagettis. Holy schmagettis. And that's why we bought XLM at 6.2 area. So we knew what we were doing in this community. I am feeling good today too. This is my, speaking of which, this is my second week back. This is my 6th workout day now back. It's going to take me 4 weeks to get back to where I was at. So it's going to take me about 28 to 30 days. So now I've put in the first 7 days now. So I'm 1/4 of the way there to get my gains back. And I can already tell after 7 days the difference of 6 workout sessions. And yeah, I'm still dealing with my hand, but it's getting much better. My other hand is all better. So, you know, I'm feeling a lot better. I found my center again, which makes the content better, which makes it to where I don't care what anybody says. So the content flows freely. So appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Crypto Solo Scrooge, welcome in. Make sure you watch Solo Scrooge on YouTube. Crypto Solo Scrooge, he covers Sologenic. As I was a little disappointed, I'll be honest in the audience, I did not do last week. Ready? For the first time, and I was waiting for one person to say it. We did not do FOMO Fridays last Friday. I was waiting for someone to bring it up, but nobody did. And you know what we're doing on FOMO Friday solo, and the only reason why I didn't do it, and I was waiting for someone to bring it up. Oh yeah, you did, Jorge. Never mind. Jorge did. Jorge, I think you brought it up, but I know he subscribed to the Solo Screws, but I think Jorge did, actually. Asked me in the comments during the live on Friday. But because I knew we were about to have a drop, so there was no reason to push it on Friday. So now, we could have bought Solo at 9.8, but now we can buy it at 9.1. Oh, right on, chat. Yeah, I was on the live, but we were busy. But I also told myself I'll just wait until the drop, if nobody brings it up, because I could see the drop. We were talking about the death crosses and most of the patterns, so that was the main reason why. Let me finish reading through the comments. How many people do we have here? I can't even get through the comments. 87 people here. Wow. Make sure you hit that like button. Only 46 likes. If you hit that like button, you'll help push the content. See, we kept the good vibes in here, and look what happened. Maybe it's better to start with a little positivity, huh? Pushes out all the bad mojo. I'm doing pretty good, Crypto Solo Scrooge. I appreciate that. Messi, welcome in. Appreciate it. I like this live as well. It's a great opportunity. Dollar cost average right now at 35 cents. If you don't have if your average is higher, absolutely. Absolutely. We're getting into that area, but remember what I said. If it's your first time buying, the exact warning I gave a few days ago, everybody's like, well, Tom, how can you say it's a bad time to buy XRP if you own it? You son of a, you just don't want anybody to own it when it goes up. And I'm like, no, that's not it. But I have a 34-cent average, or 34.6. Everybody's asking if they should buy it at 50 cents, and I said, absolutely not. And they asked why, and I even did a video. And it's titled, Why You Shouldn't Buy XRP Right Now, a few days ago. Because we have a death cross in the daily. What does that mean? Well, when we came up here and got rejected multiple times, and then we failed on a thinly traded weekend, we could get a bag cheaper. And I said your first opportunity would come after the rejection, which it got. You could get almost about a 10% retracement down to the top of the rising channel. So you already got a 10% discount if you would have bought it at the bottom. But what I was saying is, I wouldn't get caught in this positioning, and I don't want anybody in my community to be walking around with their pants down and not afford to be able to pull them back up. That's the point. And I do like that analogy. I don't know, I've never said it like that before, but it actually came out like I would have liked to have said it before. So at 50 cents when I said do not buy, it's because you have this opportunity. First, the rising channel, which we're basically at now, which is just over a 10% savings. So if you're not in it already, why would you buy it if you could save 10% right off the top like you did today? But like I was saying is, this dot cross isn't complete. That 50 and 100 day on the short-term momentum is going to have to come through there at 50 cents. Just like you see the 20 day in red coming through the dark blue. Which means we're probably looking at a 24 to 25% correction as we come down for bottom side liquidity, which is completely normal. After all, this is the formation that's been going on the uptrend since all the way back here in 2020. The downtrending resistance started back here, but for clarity, but you can see. So even if we say it's been 2.5 years, this pattern technically doesn't end until August of 24. I know it pisses people off, but would you rather me lie to you and lead you to your own grave? I think not. So I'm going to be honest with everybody, even when everybody's, lying to you, pulling your leg, telling you it's going somewhere where it's not. We can still, and I will repeat myself again, this formation, and I look like an asshole when I say it when it's up here, but I have more credence when I say it now that it's down here. This pattern can last until right here. If it stays in this formation and uses the 2020 uptrend, it can stay in formation, and the apex is not until August of next year. I don't know why this is over farther. Oh, it moved it over on me, but the apex is not until August of next year. So whether we want this pattern to fly off the rails with something that's not there, well, if nothing happens with the SEC, and this times it, remember the litigation. What did they put in, ladies and gentlemen, with Ripple? They already are saying mid-2024 to third quarter, which is what I've been saying the whole time, for the resolution to the institutional investors, which isn't even on trial, which is the funny thing. The resolution to Bradley Garlinghouse and Christian A. Larson's way that they sold it, because they own like 20% of the tokens. And it's within all the framework. I've read it over 1 million times. So if that lines up perfectly with what's happening with the resolution, I mean, this pattern can go until August of 24. That doesn't mean we can't have a premature breakout, and that's what I continue to tell everybody. But if it stays in unity, now if we lose the 2020 uptrend, and this is where it gets tricky, so if you're squeamish, please leave. I'm probably going to talk my way out of 99 people here now. So I'll probably talk my way out of a few viewers, and then we're going to go back into the formation. 57 likes. Make sure you hit that like button. We can do a lot better than that. I mean, if you don't want to hit the like button, you can always send a YouTube super chat, which I haven't received any in the last few days during the lives. You can always join Tom's Armor. It's one person re-upped yesterday during the live, so that's good. Or you can simply hit the like button, and you don't have to send any kind of donation. You can just help push me through the algorithm, and you can share this, and that's free. But when you share it, it pushes me through the algorithm. It's a miracle. We have 98 people here. It's a miracle. But if we, ready, the squeamish, if we do break into the next tier, and I am just the messenger, ladies and gentlemen, this is the chart. I don't speak with emotion, I speak chart, like I've said from the beginning of my time on YouTube. I speak chart, and like we said yesterday, by speaking chart, we put this in so everybody could see. Once it breaks this formation, we come down to the uptrending support to 38 cents likely. But we do have the rising channel in between. But anyhow, for the not squeamish, and Ron, I will get to you in a minute, my friend. Thank you so much for that donation. If we break down, and Ron, thank you for the $10 donation. That is extremely generous of you to spend your hard-earned money on me. So, on my craft, I should say. So, if the pattern breaks down, and these are the all-time patterns, and I can go back and show everybody, 2010, right? 2010, or 2020, sorry. 2020, we verify. 2020. So if that uptrend goes, we go down to 38 cents. If we break down, and if it holds, it goes to August of 24. If we have to go back farther, the next uptrend starts all the way back here in 2017. That one would go out just a little bit longer, and we'll go to that. And if both of those fail, we have to go all the way back to the 2014, it's actually 2013. I just didn't extend it all the way back, but it's 2013. So we've already discussed the 2020. So don't shoot the messenger. Honestly, if you want to shoot the messenger, that's fine. But, you know, it has to be said. So if we break the 2020 uptrend, which would bring us to 38 cents. Now remember, we have the other formation for short-term moves, which this rising channel is a short-term pattern formation. This is from December of 22, and it started October of 22. So this is a shorter time frame. You have to break this to continue the longer 2020 time frame. See how that works? So when the rising channel breaks, which I assume it will because this dot cross is nowhere near being done. So that's why I even said a 54% chance to break down when it was up in this range. We talked about it. Even though it looked like we were attempting, I said it was a 54% chance because I believe it's going to go down. But the optics would still suggest that we can go up sooner, even though a lot of the indicators said otherwise. Now, however, if this breaks, now let's go back to here. So if we break the 2020 uptrend, which is where we come after the rising channel, and I don't think anybody's going to break it down like this for you because I don't think anybody can break it down like this for you. They're too caught up in XRP going to 3 million, which is fine. I'll keep you the voice of reason. That's why there's 104 people here right now, I think it says. 38 cents. Now let's just say we break the 2020 uptrend. We already talked about this. Now we go to the 2017 uptrend, which is down here. That comes down to about 20 cents. Now if we get into that uptrend, pay attention. You very well could ride this, and we always meet the downtrending resistance to where this uptrending support meets, which we call the apex. That means you're off the Richter scale. That's sometime in 2025. And the only reason it takes that long, and people are like, you son of a... They're not being positive, remember, so I'm not trying to swear as much. It's a negative connotation, and I like swearing, but there's a time and place for it. So, yes, it might be in that range, but just imagine, you buy it down, we bring our 34-cent average to 30 cents. Well, now on that bounce, at minimum, you got a massive spike, and you can figure it out from there. But if you end up bouncing around in here, the moment you have a breakout, it's going to be an even more parabolic spike. That's the thing. Now, worst case scenario, we come out into 2028, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2028, I'm marking it. TradingView's afraid to show you how far it's out. Oh, it's afraid. Jeffrey, welcome into Tom's Army. First month in Tom's Army, and I know it's the first month because it's an emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that's my face superimposed into that, Jeffrey. So that is actually me being abducted by aliens. A lady I met doing social media a few years ago, she made that for me, and I made it into my first emoji badge. She makes she crochets. So it's very generous. So it's been my first month emoji badge since I started. It switches in the second month, which is Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News, and I'll let you figure that out for yourself. Somebody said bad things about me, but we've moved past it. And then month 3 is the Meteor, I believe. Oh, it gets great. 1 year is the I Told You So badge. And then the 2-year badge is the 589. Remember the prediction of $589 at the end of 2023. But old Tom, XRP Future Millionaire, said, no, not so fast. I think it means 0.589, which is 58.9 cents, is the best we can do in 2023 by the end. And everybody got mad, so I turned it into the 2-year subscriber badge. So if anybody's a 2-year subscriber, if you would comment right now, you'll be able to see that 589 badge. And it's on the moon. It says 589, but it has a decimal point of 0.589, which is what I believed it would be at 2023. It's not because I'm being irrelevant. It's because I'm speaking with no emotion and following the charts. MC Prosperity, wow, thank you so much for the $10 donation. What a generous audience we have here today. What a generous audience. We've had MC Prosperity with a $10 donation, Ron with a $10 donation, and Jeffrey joining Tom's Army. Wow. What a beautiful day. And I will say, just the way I feel, I don't think there's anything that could bring me down. Nothing. And this is on a day when most of the people that are around here have this negative connotation. They're feeling down. They're feeling the blues because crypto is going down. We know what's happening, folks. In worst case scenario, it takes us into 2028, and you're buying XRP at 1.5 cents. So what does that mean if you have a 34.5-cent average? That means you'll be able to buy it 5 times on the way down, and your average would now go somewhere about 4 or 5 cents at the end of it, because you'd have to buy 80% more on the way down, or 100% by the time it got there. Maybe 120, 200, 500% in shares, tokens. So, but we love the dips here. Everybody misses the message when I said it's not the time to sell. If you want to take your short-term profits, you still can. But remember, let me put it in perspective. Ready for this? When we went up, and we have a 34.6 average, which we rebought back, and there's no shame in that. We rebought back, and we were out for a year and a half after selling at $1.66 in the bull run. Hey, a lot of you were here only 1,300 at the time, but now we're up to 18,000 plus, which is, in my opinion, a miracle, because I'm a nobody. I'm a somebody, but I'm a nobody in the terms of being a somebody. I'm a somebody amongst the people, but amongst the big business corporations and government, I'm a nobody. So it's a miracle. So we had this, we no emotion. We looked at the charts and we said, oh boy, I don't want to do this because I'm connected to XRP by the hip, but I got to sell. Lost a lot of respect from the audience until they seen when I said it was going sub 50 and I made the prediction at 52 cents and it hit it on the money. Initially, before the first rally, everybody's like, oh my God, Lord have mercy, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm an idiot. And I said, it's okay, it's going to go back up and you'll get a second chance. Remember the bear market rally of all rallies? Got back to about $1.30. Not $1.66, but you got a second chance. Then people are like, oh, I'm not selling it now. It already went to 52 cents. I'm like, well, that's okay. I'm not buying it till sub 40. Are you out of your mind? It's never going under $1 again or 50 cents. Received some backlash on a few stations. That's how the second month badge became in existence. Wink, wink. So more people left. So now I'm talking to an audience of probably 200 people, views-wise. And now we come to today's world. We bought back in at 34.6, but we did one time. And I told everybody to build capital, and I'll take the tax hit one time. We bought at 28.5 cents. We sold at 44 cents. And we used that for capital to buy everything we own now. Because we used $10,000 to buy precious metals because we were up over 12 in 2021. Or 30, well, it was like 15.5, but I took out 10. The tax hit was extraordinary because I was up 12,000 in profits. But anyhow, we're getting off topic here. So when we bought back in, again at 34.6, we built our capital. So what I'm pushing the message of, the swing trading is not the way because of the capital gains. 35% inside of a year. Sometimes you have to do it to build capital, and I was trying to build the audience quick capital, which I knew we could. Of course, we had to wait a year and a half to buy back in the first time. Then we got to sell it within weeks, make 40%, 50%, or 45, 40. I don't remember what it was. And then we got to rebuy it back in at 346 and we had the liquidity because a lot of people said they didn't have liquidity to follow the plan. So I had to think on my feet. So now you're not. So here's the point: if you sell it, if you bought it in at 346, and let's just say because nobody sold out at 94, I don't give a shit what they say. I don't care because I don't care what they say. I don't care what kind of fairy tale, non-coherent story that they're trying to tell us. All the exchanges were down except for a few. My audience in particular, I know you. So don't try to pass the flubbergasters or the nots happenings, you know. Or the Alex for 200 yesterday, tell me what never happened. You know, I don't want to hear that. We sold at 85 cents if you were going to. That's 120% roughly, 100%. You were still up. And then everybody said, well, I'm going to do it to buy back 50% cheaper. Okay, So you sold it out to make your profit, to sell it back, and now let's say you sold it at 85 cents. You buy it back when it gets to 40 cents, let's say. So you save 50%. Congratulations, you have to pay 30% of that savings and taxes anyhow. Now, you have an accruing tax debt that, let's just say, because you bought it back in, and now it goes way down, your cost averaging, dollar cost averaging down. Well, how are you going to pay that tax bill of 35%? So really, you made 15% in profit. I don't know why I said 30. You made 15% on the buyback. And profit's still there, but you had to spend 50% to buy back, remember. Now I've got 35% tax bill on the remaining money that's left, which might as well be 70% because the tax bill was on the whole 100%. The whole point here is you got about 3 cents on the dollar, or 30 cents on the dollar. Is it worth having 30 cents on the dollar? Or is it worth accumulating during the bear market, being excited when it goes up, but understanding we're not trying to raise our average because we're already bought in, and waiting patiently for it to come below 34.6? Is it bad that I have a motto, don't buy above 40 cents? Does it seem so crazy now with all the volatility? I got a lot of heat for it, but is there any, does it seem why I talk about it now? It's because of the formation. We can't make a new pattern until we break out of the old pattern. Therefore, anything under 40 cents is the ideal buy with XRP. It is what it is. It's 250% every dollar it goes up. Yes, I have a 34.6 average. That doesn't mean sub 40 cents. That doesn't mean now is a bad buy. But you have to understand what you're dealing with. That's all. 100, you know, sometimes I surprise myself because when I'm in my truest form, I noticed more people stay. Wolverines 2-0. The Wolverines now, they won on Saturday. Lions 1-0. Pop Warner, first game next Sunday. Had a nice long practice yesterday, 2.5 hours roughly. But in this league, I'm a very good offensive play caller, so, and defensive coordinator as well. But I'm the head coach. I have no coordinators. You're supposed to have a coordinator on the defensive side or offensive side. I'm running the show. There is no coordinators. The league doesn't know it because I put my name as Thomas Spica Jr., which it is, with my phone number, and then I put Thomas Spica, which I guess they could think is my dad, with Julie's number, so they have me as the coach and the assistant coach. And when I was in practice, I ran the show and nobody asked questions. Because, you know, sometimes when you're teaching the kids, all the other teams run the cones. I'm sorry, this Pop Warner football, we're not doing conditioning by running the cones. I'm going to draw up plays, and one by one, I'm going to learn who my quarterback is and everything else, wide receiver, the tight end, the linebackers, everything, offensive line, everything as you go along. But by us getting in conditioning, we're running the plays. We're doing it with real conditioning. I'm not wasting time running cones. Just like I'm not sitting here teaching you fairy tale stuff that's not going to make you any money. Period. What are your major down levels? 38 cents, then 20 cents. The major down levels, if you're looking at the all-time chart, it would go 38 cents down to 20 cents approximately. And then it goes all the way down to just over 1.5 cents approximately, about 2 cents. If you follow the all-time charts. Now it can stay in this first pattern and only hit 38 cents. And that could be why we've already had a golden cross in the weekly. 589 is not a fairy tale. In fact, 58.9 cents is a real likelihood, as we've already hit it at the end of this year. But no, but in all seriousness, $589, it's plausible, but likely you couldn't even attain anything close to it until after 2028. And hear me out. 2028 is when all the liquidity comes into these markets, okay? Just consider that. Consider something else while we're talking right now. And I promised yesterday that we would talk about it today in the live. So with that question asked, let me ask you all something. The IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, its Financial Stability Board, so the IMF-FSB recommendations laid out a roadmap, and this was yesterday, and suggested bare minimum regulations that every country should have on cryptocurrencies. If any country wants to have a more stricter regulation, it can frame a more restrictive regulation depending on the risk it seems from cryptos, the official said. So when you go into this, it says decision on crypto regulations after extensive discussion globally, says official. So the G20 leaders have endorsed recent recommendations on cryptocurrencies by the IMF and the Financial Stability Board. India will decide on implementing cryptocurrency regulations after extensive discussions with other countries, a senior official has said. So I don't want to go through all of this because that's basically the money shot, I will say, of this article, besides this point right here. 20 leaders also welcomed the IMF, SFB, which is the International Monetary Fund, Financial Stability Board synthesis paper, including a roadmap. So this is the true money shot if you want to have one. Right here, this line. G20 leaders, whoops, what happened here? What is this advertisement? Oh no, not, so 20 leaders, if I could do this right, you could see the actual important part of this article. So 20 leaders are welcomed, also welcomed the International Monetary Fund Financial Stability Board synthesis paper, including a roadmap that will support a coordinated and comprehensive policy and regulatory framework, taking into account the full range of risk and risk specific of emerging market and developing economies, EMDEs, and the ongoing global implementation of FATF standards to address money laundering and terrorism financing risk. Our finance ministries and central bank governors will discuss taking forward the roadmap at their meetings in October 23, the declaration said. So I'll read this whole thing in a later update, but that is all I wanted everybody to see in the live because that's the true money shot there. Later on as well, I don't know if I'll be doing a standalone live in a little bit with Stellar XLM Total Supply when I end this because I might stay on a little bit longer. But I want to talk about not the XLM Total Supply. I want to talk about, because we really have to get into this in a little bit. This is very, 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 very important. Now I keep giving Tanya credit because she put this on here, so I don't even have to bring up a different source. Read this, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple XRP rival Stellar XLM to make a major announcement tomorrow. Will Elon Musk invest in XLM and drive the price to $1? So after this live ends, if you want to talk more about this, I'm going to be starting a second live here in a little bit. And we're going to talk about XLM, the price, but we're going to be talking about this breaking news. I don't even know if I'd call it breaking news, the potential huge headline of the day. So we have 112 people. Wow, that is incredible. Only 95 likes though. Please hit that like button. You have no idea how important that like button is. You know, we've never ended a live with under 100%, so I really don't want to start that today. So please make sure to hit that like button. It's a badge of honor I carry very proudly that we hit 100% in every live. I suppose you don't have to because we've had a few donations, and if you don't want to hit the like button, if you're really opposed to it, send a donation. If you want to look in the video description below, that'll show you how to send a donation outside of YouTube if you really feel inclined. Or it'll show you how to join Tom's Army. Or it'll tell you how to trade your favorite crypto. Many alternatives outside of FEMX. But in the USA, you're going to have to use FEMX. Because MEXC doesn't allow new users. But MEXC is my favorite platform to be right now. Just because of the usability and the fact that they didn't kick us out. They don't allow new users, but old users, they said it's fine. Make sure if you smoke cannabis, or if it's legal where you're at, make sure you join me and partake. Actually, I promised everybody this, so while we're partaking real quick, and what's going on, FTX is dumping. I don't think this has to do with FTX, I'll be honest. What do I always say? The news predicts, or the charts predict the news. This drop I've been predicting for 3 weeks because of the death crosses. That has nothing to do with FTX dumping. It's just a convenient excuse. If I didn't know any better, I'd say the government's taken over. So, this is my This is my garden right here. Well, that's one plant, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to God. That's one cannabis plant. It's a Kush plant. I topped it. It's got about 17 to 20 heads on there. And then this is a smaller one. Started later, only topped it 3 times. It's got, I believe it was 6 to 8 heads. I had to transplant it from a different spot. But that, everybody always asked, that's my cannabis. I topped it. I'm very good at my craft, but it's a Kush, very healthy. I imported dirt from Maine that met my specifications, I kid you not. So yeah, so that is what I do. And then I have one little friend I want you guys to see real quick. He's my watermelon, and it's a patchy spot, but I have a little watermelon that he might not make it. I have a few of them that are in here, but I want you to see it because everybody always asks about my garden. Where's he at? You see my watermelon? See my baby? That's my watermelon. I'm so proud of this little man, you have no idea. And I don't care if everybody leaves. That's my little baby. And it's a big patch right here. I've got a lot of watermelon back here. There's another one back there. There's 6 or 7 growing, but it's getting a little cold in Michigan, and we had a late start this year, so I don't know what's going to actually happen. So, but I've had a lot of people ask me about it, so that's what's going on there. Oh, I also have potatoes in the corner, but I'm going to walk back so we can do the technical analysis before everybody leaves. Actually, wait a minute. 111 people are still here. Now we have 115 likes. Never mind. But yeah, so that's my pride and joy. That watermelon is my pride and joy. I grew it from just baby seed. He was just a seed when he started, and now he's a watermelon. However, I think I need to start earlier, but we had a late season this year to get everything started. So because I'm working in just soil and not the proper conditions, like in a greenhouse or whatever, I don't know, he might just be babies. It is very hard. So basically I'm just trying to get mini watermelons. Mini watermelons. But I appreciate everybody conversing with me. I appreciate it. Let me go through the comments. Oh yes, there is, Christopher. And let me tell you how far back it goes. When I had to sell in 2021, when I knew it was down to the bull market, I had to pay a 35-cent capital gains tax. And for anybody who says it's not true, I had $12,800 in profits. For transparency, I paid 35% on that. You can do the math. I paid almost over 5. Actually, it might have been a little over 13, but it was over 5,000 in taxes. So yeah, I made 13,000, but I only kept 8. Yeah, it sucks, but if you wait over a year, it's 15%. So at least I would have kept 20% more. So that's why I speak from a position of understanding. Another position of understanding, remember what everybody said? Well, Tom, if the dollar crashes, isn't it linked to crypto going up? No, it's not. The only thing it's tied to the hip with is precious metals, as I've said from the beginning. It gives a better chance of cryptos to go up because the dollar is worth less. But the only thing actually tied to the hip to that, if the dollar is going down, precious metals is going up. And this is a perfect example. For anybody who's bought precious metals or who might have watched the silver stacking series as of late, which I'm going to give publicity to it because it's a great time to watch it, and it's my channel, and I believe a lot more of you need to watch it if you're true fans of what I do. You should go to my playlist, watch the 10-part series right now, I believe it is. As if you look at the views, you're talking 300 views on most videos, maybe 400. Last one only got 232. But that's a perfect silver stacking series. It's going to take you a little while to get through it. But if you want to learn about precious metals, that's the way to go. Silver's an 83.34 ratio. Anything over 80 to 1 is beautiful. It's beautiful. And when I stopped the series, it was only for one reason. Silver got up here at almost 30 bucks. And then it came down. Well, I didn't stop it there, but when I stopped it, it was up here. It got up to around 25.50, and I said, we've got to see this a little bit. But I wanted to start it picking it back up when it got to the downtrending support. Because to me, that still looks like a bull flag, and it looks like silver's getting ready for a parabolic spike if it can break out. If we do have to come back here to 21, that's interesting because this started back in 2020. This actual formation, though, the grand formation, started back in like the 70s. So how long has it been since we've had a little momentum? Well, we're less than half the price of silver, as it was back in the 70s. So what's the best value on the planet Earth? Look at the inflation of the US dollar, and both silver's been manipulated down. There's not always going to be a time where it's like this. I believe we're at the apex point. Same thing with gold. We're getting to the apex moment here, the showdown. We're on the bottom side here still, so until we get past here, you're in trouble. This could be the start of a move back up, though, if the US dollar continues to fall down. So watch your precious metals. Once we break this resistance and ultimately get up past here and get back into discovery, I think we need to get to 2100, and I'll mark it. We need to get to about 2075.26 to get back into discovery. This time, we're not going to come back. We've already had multiple consolidations after going and getting rejected in discovery. And discovery means we're in a price territory we've never been in. It can run parabolic. There's no price ceiling until you make one, which means the first parabolic run is going to leave a lot of people behind. And in their consolidation, your first real consolidation might come up, as we've talked about. And I have it marked out, 2447. I don't want to go all the way back to show you how I got there. But 2447 is where I believe our first parabolic run will come up to. So you're talking about the price is gold then. Instead of being able to buy it at 1900, you got to buy it at 2400. OSW Federal Swan Bitcoin's custodian Fortress was hacked. Customer funds were lost. Yeah, we talked about Fortress, and we also talked about the there's an update on my channel actually about Fortress Pay and why Ripple what came in. Unless I didn't cover it, and maybe it was just in the live. I think it was just in the live, so you have to watch the live from yesterday. Anyhow, let's get to this. Let's get to the rest of this, because I want to save some of my energy, because if anybody's interested, I'm gonna come back on after. We're gonna talk about the XLM news. So I appreciate everybody who's been here right now. We're going to end it by looking at the total crypto market cap, and it is under, as we predicted here on this channel, to come back under 1 trillion and ultimately to have a meeting. Remember the meeting point? At minimum, 952 billion. I said it would make a lot of people mad because we're under 1 trillion. Well, we're back. Then we're coming down to 889 billion if we break this formation. If that formation breaks, there's nothing. We legitimately have nothing until we retest 658 billion. Are we going to come down there? Nobody knows. Actually, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You can shoot the messenger in this. I'm wrong because one of my lines is gone. I was going to say there was a chance at an uptrend here. Yeah, there we go, because it meets. Yeah, see? If it falls back in here, which you didn't want, it actually could fall back in here before this pattern, even finishes out here, before it meets the apex. I mean, that would be a brutal rejection if this is the case. So, we'll see. That's how you can target it. If it falls back in there, then you got this uptrend that could hold you at 857. And then after that, you're in some trouble. You are in trouble. So you better hope this breakout lasts. So that's the total crypto market cap. Julie made me homemade bread. I'm so excited. And I haven't eaten in 16 hours and 15 minutes because I fast 16 hours a day, which means I can eat now. And I've been doing this for like 5 months, which is crazy to think that, but man, do I feel good doing it. XRP will end it here, down 1.44 billion in the market cap. We broke a critical uptrending support, which is the rising channel. So that was at 25.5 billion. Now we're expecting us to come back down to 20.7 billion. It's the next part of this channel. I mean, the uptrend. However, there's 22.98 billion that could be the overextension area. Is that enough? I don't know. Oh crap, I'm sorry. I got into a zone. I wasn't even looking at the comments. Hold on, Billy. Let me go back and look at it. Let me get my phone out. Billy. Hey, Tom, how do you transfer your crypto into Ledger without paying taxes? You can't. You're paying taxes. That's a common misconception. If you transfer it off of the exchange, they still see it on the exchange. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't sell it. Oh, you're not selling it. Never mind. Listen, if you're not selling it, hold on. Yes, Codizer, everything is tracked, but my apologies, Bill. If you're just sending it to the XRP ledger from the exchange, you're not taking a tax hit. So just by transferring it off the exchange, there's no point of sale. It's not showing it as a sale. Yes, you'll have a different plus minus on the exchange, but you can easily verify the differential by showing, if it ever came to it, that you still own it through the ledger. Now, honestly, wouldn't even put it through. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Because all I can say, we deal in an unruly civilization now. But it's one of those things. Are you going to risk not paying and end up behind jail, behind the bars? Because old Peter Schiff, his dad, Erwin Schiff, for anybody who doesn't believe me, was one of the wisest folks you'll ever run into. His son, one of the wisest people you'll ever meet. His dad was a political prisoner for not paying his taxes. Rightfully so. Spent his dying days in jail. Wasn't able to sit with his kids. So Peter Schiff pays his taxes. He lives in Puerto Rico now to get around some of them. But even he says, I am not going to be held a political prisoner by not paying my taxes. He watched his dad die in prison. So when people tell me all the ludicrousy of not paying taxes, if Erwin Schiff couldn't figure it out, I'm pretty sure I can't figure it out either. So I'm going to pay my taxes. And I'm going to gripe about it, but I'm going to do it within the law as they give it to me, because I'm not going to spend my days in jail because I want to make a point. And that's the realest I can be to anybody who watches me about taxes. If Erwin Schiff couldn't do it, neither can I. And if you don't know who that is, that would be a great piece of information to start studying. And honestly, it was going through Erwin Schiff's stuff that got me into Peter Schiff. Once I started reading about him, and then I seen he had a son, Peter, I'm like, oh boy. And then this is a long time ago. Well, Jorge, Google is your best friend, but it's also your archest enemy. And you want to know why? It always gives you the worst information it possibly can on a topic. It won't tell you the truth. Unless it's not speculative, it won't technically give you the truth. It was a great football weekend. It was. Mel Tucker got fired. I mean, anybody see that? That's a disgrace out in East Lansing. Mel Tucker he's suspended right now, but he's going to get fired. There was a sexual assault victim from back in the day who went through a lot, and he said they had consensual phone sex. You know how stupid that sounds? And he said he brought her into the program so that she could speak of sexual violence and assault and the rape culture. I mean, does that sound like she would have had consensual? And she said it was consensual. I don't want to get into it more than that because this is not a sexual station. Let's just say he was doing a knuckle shuffle while he was talking to her on the phone. And according to him, even though he fired a few rockets off, she was leading him into the battle. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, you know, it's about the best I can put it. So, but yeah, that's a weird circumstance there. Michigan State's all about that negative press. So is Michigan, though, so don't let it fool you. It just doesn't get covered. Appreciate it, JW. Welcome in, my friend. Honestly, JW, for you, this is about to end, but I'm about to come back on, and there won't be probably 1/5 of the people in here right now, because I think there's 100 and something, which is a miracle. 106. I greatly appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. But I'm going to be coming back because we have a big topic to talk about here. Big topic. And I know you're a fan of XLM, JW. Big bears to talk about here, which we will be talking about in just a minute. Oh, I appreciate that, JW. Yes, Jorge, I'm getting excited to talk about that. And Tanya shared this. Ripple rival Stellar XLM to make a major announcement tomorrow. Will Elon Musk invest in XLM and drive the price to $1? She said, I called this months ago if it's true and not FUD. Elon and Jed, well-known mates. So, if that's the case, is the X on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, is that for XRP? Or is that for XLM? It's always an awesome topic of speculation. So if you see Tanya in here later, give her some proper credit for sharing that with the Telegram community. So, but any other words, everybody? Any last words? Because I'm very excited to get into XLM. Last things with XRP, as this rising channel, I'll go into the charts, but this is the rising channel technically for the total crypto market cap. With that being breached, we have 22.98 billion, and under that 20.65 billion. XRP is under 47 cents, which is no surprise to this community, as we believe the rising channel isn't even going to hold, and that's at 45 cents right now. Darren, welcome in, mate. Yes, you missed the entire stream, but the good news is you didn't miss anything you want to miss, because I'm going to end this and come back and open up a second live, which will be for as long as it takes. We're going to be talking about the announcement tomorrow. Will Elon Musk invest in XLM and drive the price to $1? This is the rumor going around right now, as Jed McCaleb and Elon are buddies. So we're going to go through that in a live where we cover the XLM price and only the XLM price, as we've done our due diligence with XRP. We've talked about the International Monetary Fund, as you're well aware of, as we've talked about, because you brought it to my attention as well. We talked about this, so if you watch earlier in the live, which you'll be happy about this, we talked about the G20 summit, which you'll be happy about that because you talked to me about it yesterday. So a lot of stuff to cover here today. So I started it with XRP, and this is an impromptu live, so I can't even believe there's still 110 people here. Like, the way that I was able to do the live, the way we started this, you know, and I'm going to have to pass the message on one more time. So anybody who started the stream today, this is a two-part way that I'm expressing myself with the people who are giving me backlash with the religion. So anybody who appreciated the way this one started, I'm doing it only one more time to express my point of view. That's not going to be a normal thing, but I'm starting the next one the same way as I set it up. So, and I think it's a beautiful piece anyhow. I'm not going to use the same person. I'm going to do it through a different artist. Same message. You know, might as well pass the love on while people are hating. That's what I like. And, you know, it gave me a nice positive feel as well. So if we break the rising channel, this uptrending support at 45 cents, and we backtest it properly, our next area, as we know, and it's what we're waiting for, if I'm being honest, as we went through this entire breakdown, we're waiting for the 2020 uptrend at 38 cents. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Oh, Matt, if you're in Tom's army, and the only reason I do it like this, which is so that I keep the spam out, and trust me, there's been a very big overhaul there, so there's not as many people. Send me an email. I don't know why it's not putting the link. Send me an email at strutrugali@gmail.com. And you see mine? I could have commented. See that? See my 589 badge? That's a 0.589 on the moon. That's the 2-year subscriber badge. Oh yes, I've been a subscriber to this channel paying for 2 years and more. If you don't believe in yourself, who will after all? It's the best investment I make every month. I'm getting some great information by rewatching this, so I might as well support this fine gentleman I see on the screen every day. Oh, the Telegram, there's barely anybody who talks in there anymore, Darren. Didn't you see what I did? There's not, I made it into a bunch of topics for when everybody comes back, but there was no participation. But I have so much stuff in here now, the general chat is literally nothing. There's literally a few people, that's it. Because I was sick of everybody who was coming in there just to ruin everybody's day. So I kicked out a lot of people. Let's just truth be told, a lot of people aren't in there that used to be in there. Darren, you're not in the group? Well, I will send you a link. I don't know why you're not in the group unless you left the group in the past. I just assumed you were, but I talk to you privately all the time, so I guess I could be mistaken. If it's blurry, I don't know why it would be blurry, honestly. Maybe you have to restart your stream. But if it was blurry, there wouldn't be 102 people here. I can already tell you that. I think so. But you don't, you're already, all you have to do is click the link. You're part of the army, man. You've been part of it. But 38 cents, if that breaks, then we can start talking about lower uptrends. But right now, I think 38 cents is fair. And if you haven't watched this from the beginning, make sure you start from the beginning, because I went through a beautiful breakdown. Just a beautiful breakdown. Which I might even clip that part of it. Of this. Scotty, welcome in. So, I appreciate that, Scotty. I always try to be positive. I always try to be positive, and when I start to lose my center, as I was a few weeks ago, because I couldn't work out, I was feeling a little down a little bit. Not down like bad down, but you know, I injured myself, so I couldn't really do anything. I got injured on my bike. So, you know, now I've been able to get back to the gym and I use the gym as a way for me to, you know, I do a little bit of weightlifting and then I do the cardio, but it's a way for me to get my center back. So, it's going to take me about 4 weeks to get my gains back, which I've been working hard since 2 weeks before last Halloween is when I started doing this again. And if you look at some of my older videos, like when I see how big my face was, I'm like, holy crap. Like, you know, I can see the difference. So, you know, now that I'm back doing it, it helps me gain my center. And then that's also why I like to do, you know, my religious stuff. But should an XRP reach all-time highs during this next bull run? Technically, we could get rejected up at about the $1.70 level. Or the swing high at $1.98 if we break out before 2024. If we break out in 2025, absolutely. So if it's in 2025 when the breakout happens, I have much higher ambitions then. But I'm not going to spread it out because I don't want FUD. But we need, yeah, absolutely we do, Darren. But guys and gals, if you're interested, I'm going to end this and I'm going to restart. I'm going to start it with a message like I did in this one. And then we're going to talk about XLM, the possible news that could be coming, and then we'll get into the XLM stellar charts at least. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to Tom's Army, as it's the greatest gift you can give me, because I don't do paid promotions, paid advertisements, or paid sponsorships of any kind. And what did we talk about? The technical target with Bitcoin. It had to hit it no matter what. And now it came through 25,194, hit the technical target, and now it looks to be rejecting in that area. And now, as we said, our extended target on a breakdown is going to be around 23,450. And I believe with that death cross, you're likely going to have to pay the piper. So we're probably going to come down there another 1,800 points with Bitcoin. But I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed day. And if I get to see you again in a few minutes, it'll make my day.